video, we're going to be going over how to overcome prediabetes and insulin resistance, specifically by improving metabolic flexibility. Prediabetes is diagnosed when fasting blood sugar is between 100 and 125 milligrams per deciliter, or 5.6 to 6.9 millimoles per liter. More than 1 in 3 Americans has prediabetes, and this rate is comparable for others in Western countries such as Canada and Australia as well. If you catch prediabetes early, it's easier to bring your fasting blood sugar back down than if you catch it later. And when you're pre-diabetic, your body is not efficient at using energy. The cells in your body are not taking in glucose properly, which is what is leading to your high fasting blood sugar. But because your blood sugar is high and the energy is there, your body is also not efficient at burning fat. But thankfully, there are things you can do to improve your metabolic health, improve your metabolic flexibility, and ultimately overcome prediabetes. Keep watching to find out how. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate. I'm a health coach and I post videos on a high-fat, nutrient-dense way of eating. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, feel free to share, and make sure to subscribe. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and now TikTok, where I share new posts every single day. As I mentioned at the start of this video, prediabetes is characterized by having high fasting blood sugar. Higher than what is considered to be normal, but not high enough to be classified as type 2 diabetes. At least not yet. Up to 70% of people with prediabetes will eventually develop type 2 diabetes, so the odds of avoiding it are not in your favor. But just because the odds are not in your favor does not mean it is impossible to avoid. You can overcome prediabetes and reverse the diagnosis, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So in today's video, we're going to start out talking about what prediabetes is and what causes it, and then we'll get into how you can overcome it by improving metabolic flexibility and improving your metabolic health overall. What causes prediabetes? As previously mentioned, prediabetes is very likely going to eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. But there is something that occurs before prediabetes, years before in fact, and that is insulin resistance. Insulin is the hormone that is responsible for transferring excess sugar from our bloodstream to our cells. But over time, our cells can become resistant to the signals of insulin. This means they aren't taking in glucose efficiently. And in response to this, the body creates more insulin to deal with the excess glucose. So for a while, the extra insulin that's being pumped out is enough to keep your blood sugar in check. But eventually, it can no longer keep up. And this is when you're going to start to see a rise in your fasting blood sugar, and you'll be diagnosed with prediabetes. So you can think of insulin resistance as on a spectrum. On one end, you have someone who is just beginning to be resistant. Their blood sugar is normal, but they might start seeing some of the side effects of having high insulin, such as weight gain, skin tags, and hair loss. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you will have someone with full-blown type 2 diabetes, who requires insulin or other medication to keep their blood sugar in check. They are going to be dealing with more serious side effects, such as blurred vision and numbness in their hands and feet. So what can you do to overcome prediabetes? Focusing on improving metabolic flexibility is one very effective strategy. Metabolic flexibility. So our bodies have 2 fuel sources. They can use carbs or they can use fat. And metabolic flexibility is the ability to switch between burning these 2 fuel sources seamlessly. Now, you'll remember that at the start of this video, I said that people with prediabetes are not efficient energy burners. They are not metabolically flexible. Because insulin is always elevated trying to deal with the excess glucose, burning fat is difficult. Essentially, when insulin is high, this is a signal to the body that there's excess glucose in the bloodstream, aka energy that's ready to be used. So it doesn't see a need to tap into our fat stores for energy because there's already energy readily available, if that makes sense. But the issue is that our cells are resisting the signals of insulin, so they're not taking in glucose as they should. And this is why symptoms such as fatigue, sugar cravings, and hunger after eating are so common for those with prediabetes. But the good news is that becoming more metabolically flexible improves insulin sensitivity. And with a few simple diet and lifestyle tweaks, you can become more metabolically flexible and eventually overcome prediabetes. And one tool that can help you achieve this is Lumen, a metabolism tracker that lets you know if you are burning mainly carbs or fat for energy. Lumen provides insights and guidance to enhance your body's use of its fuel sources. And it does this by measuring your carbon dioxide concentration in your breath. So, for example, ideally you want to wake up in a fat-burning state. Overnight, your body should have burned through your glycogen, which is your stored glucose, and then it will switch to burning fat instead. And Lumen's nutrition recommendations throughout the day can help you to make sure you wake up in a fat-burning state. Especially in the beginning, when you first start using Lumen, it's going to make recommendations that are low in carbohydrates, and this is going to help you to keep your insulin levels low and your blood sugar more stable. Carbohydrates are the macronutrient that triggers the greatest release in insulin. So by keeping carbs low in your diet, your circulating insulin levels are going to be lower, helping your cells to become more insulin sensitive again. Staying under the carb limit that Lumen recommends will help your body to burn fat more efficiently. Based on your morning reading and your exercise plan for the day, Lumen will formulate a nutrition plan and recommend recipes that fit within this plan. You can also take readings before and after you eat to see how the meal affected your metabolism. And you can take readings before and after exercise as well. Exercise can help you to use up the glucose that's in your bloodstream and your stored glucose as well, and help you to get back into fat burning mode faster. All of this to say, Lumen is a very valuable tool for monitoring your metabolic health. And your Lumen Flex score will help you to track your metabolic flexibility improving. As I mentioned before, improving your metabolic flexibility is going to help you to become more insulin sensitive, ultimately helping you to overcome prediabetes. If you want to check out Lumen, you can click the link in the description box down below. And be quick, because the first 100 people to use the code KATE50 are going to save $50 off their order. I've been using Lumen since, I think, early December, and I find it really helpful not only for monitoring my metabolic health, but also for planning to fuel my workouts, and even holding myself accountable. With Lumen, I've discovered that if I eat too close to my bedtime, I'm more likely to wake up burning more carbs than fat. And I've also made the connection that I feel way better throughout the day if I wake up burning fat. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope this video helped you to understand the connection between metabolic flexibility and prediabetes and insulin resistance. Let me know in the comment section down below if you knew what metabolic flexibility was before this video. And remember to click the link in the description box down below to check out Lumen. If you did enjoy this video, you might also enjoy my video where I do a full day of eating for metabolic flexibility. You can check that out here. If you want to catch up on my most recent upload, you can find it here. And if you want to check out my keto diet and carnivore diet coaching programs, you can find those here. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.